And with that, we welcome you to a Tuesday night. You have not mistaken. It is pay-per-view night, baby. September to remember, the 9th annual edition. As always, I'm your host, EIF owner Carney, and we are getting set. You just saw, based on our promo video, big match coming up, Battle Royale. And wait a second. Oh my God. All right, guys, just now, breaking news. I don't know why or how or where he is for that matter. Aaron is, yes, he's unable, from what I'm being told, he is unable to be competing in tonight's Battle Royale match. So, nonetheless, Aaron is going to get replaced by Hybrid Maniac. I'm sure he didn't have anything to do with that. So, Hybrid Maniac going to be taking place over Aaron, apparently, to kick things off. Again, guys, we will continue to update you on what's going on in that situation as more information comes our way. But right now, we have a match to get set, and we're going to have Hybrid Maniac take the place of Aaron, unexpectedly missing. That doesn't mean that the other four competitors will, because we have still got a Hungry, Greedy, Tyron, Pepsi, and Jetstar. 5 competitors in total vying for one opportunity. This opportunity, a chance to fight for either of the World Championships at the Bonafide Fights event coming up next in just 3.5 weeks from now. But September to remember begins now. Excluding the Wilds. The following contest is our opening match of the evening. This is a 5-man Battle Royale number 1 contenders match, where the winner has an opportunity for either of the 2 undisputed championships at Bonafide Fights. Introducing first on his way to the ring from Florida, representing Seth Rollins, this is Greedy. Well, Greedy, a former undisputed world champion, you guys know when he won back at Collision Course, held the title for 4 weeks. That included a successful one-on-one defense over Legend Killer DDV. He ends up losing a triple threat match for his championship, but here tonight at S2R, he looks to correct that error and reprimand that decision tonight. He looks to get himself back in, but he's going to have to stop this man and many more. Introducing next, from California, representing Brock Lesnar, he is Hybrid Maniac. And, you know, the one thing that I have to ask, and of course, you know, we're on a time schedule, so we got to get things done, but honestly, I mean, tell me how it's ironic Hybrid just happens to be here right away, ready to go, when Aaron can't make it to the event. So, again, that's going to be something that we're going to find out, but nonetheless, Hybrid is a proven former world champion, much like Greedy, and he's going to look to get an opportunity at that title once again after this match. Now, here's a man, on the contrary, who has not gotten an opportunity. Tonight, he looks to earn shot number 1. Introducing next on his way to the ring, representing Ryback from New York, Jetstar. And Jetstar getting the opportunity, we mentioned a multi-time U.S. champion this past summer, coming off the heated rivalry with the Beatdown, and he's going to get an opportunity to beat up his competition tonight for a chance. Don't forget, though, Beatdown coming up later on in our main event this evening, guys. Both undisputed championships are on the line tonight. That's going to give an opportunity for one of these men, whoever wins this match, to get an eye and keep their eye on the prize, depending on who wins what. We do want to let everybody know that the Superstar Championship match is our main event tonight. The Undisputed World Championship match will be serving as the co-main event. Both triple threats. It should be exciting. Well, here's a man who has had multiple Undisputed Championship opportunities, including earlier this past summer for the Undisputed Superstardom Championship. He has to find a way to capitalize. He's had some pretty big Battle Royale victories in his past, and he has proven that he can rise to the occasion. Is tonight another night that can happen? Introducing next, representing The Undertaker from Houston, Texas, Tyron Hunt. Tyron Hunt was in a heated rivalry and in a heated match, and more importantly with Brutality and Frost earlier this year when those three collided in a triple threat at Victory Votes in July. And we thought for a moment in that match that Tyron Hunt would be stepping away with his first Undisputed Championship. Now, Beatdown and Tripod are both going to be presented with that opportunity later this evening. And although Tyron won't get that same exact shot tonight, he has an opportunity to put himself as the next man in line. And want to thank all of you for tuning in here. Again, I know this is a Tuesday night, a little odd that we're having a pay-per-view on Tuesdays, but it is the one time every year. It is a constant tradition. This is the 9th annual September to Remember, annually held September 1st of every year since 2007, and we're glad that for the first time ever in this pay-per-view's history, we can bring it to you live here on Twitch.tv, and we hope you enjoy. I mean, what a way we're going to be kicking things off. This 5-man match is going to be action-packed. Just one more man to come out. The only man with a championship right now, but he would gladly upgrade that championship to the top tier. And he is also, much like his last two competitors, looking for the first opportunity in his career. And introducing last, representing the show-off, Dolph Ziggler from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the current reigning EIF Intercontinental Champion, Pepsi Killer. Pepsi Killer with the opportunity tonight again. He is the Intercontinental Champion. Yet again, he's the only superstar since the title's resurrection earlier this year. He's the only guy to have won it more than twice. On his third current reign as it, he has no plans of giving it up, but he knows that if he has to do so in order to go for the Undisputed Superstardom or Undisputed World Championship, that is a price he is willing to pay. As he looks to cash in his opportunity using Dolph Ziggler, he plans to show off and show up here tonight in September to Remember victorious. All right, guys, so we are getting set now. Entrances being done. The talk is over. It's time to take things to Xbox Live. Remember, guys, this is not an interactive universe league. All of our matches are played by real EIF competitors on Xbox Live, and we're going to get to show you that in just a moment here. We get set for all those competitors to take it over to the Xbox Live world where this match will begin. Now, just for those of you that are not sure, if you haven't seen this before, want to also remind you that I'll probably be representing Adrian Neville, and I'm not going to be competing with Adrian Neville, so you'll see me get eliminated in the beginning of the match, and again, that's just because I'm not a competitor in this league, if you guys don't know that, but I do love to commentate, and you're going to get to see that not only through the entrances, but the match itself. We have a very exciting match, and just to recap, guys, because I've been talking about these championships a lot, we do have both Undisputed Championships on the line tonight, but the winner of this 5-man Battle Royale match is going to get an opportunity to keep their eye on either or both of those champions, because for one of them, he will be the next competitor in line, and of course we're going to reveal that at a later point. The only way to win this match is to eliminate all of your opponents, or technically be considered the last man standing. You don't have to eliminate everybody yourself, but be the last man standing, and the only way to eliminate your opponent or opponents is by pinfall or submission.
That was hybrid seeing who need to get gas there first, yeah. Man. We should make bets on that. $20 on everybody else join.
And we do want to make sure that everybody knows, going back to what we mentioned about this pay-per-view annually being held on the 1st of September, it's the only one of its kind, guys. So you're not going to, if you're worried, if you're thinking, I don't really know if I want to be here every weekday, you don't have to worry about it because this is the only time you're going to see a weekday pay-per-view. But, of course, we do stream matches occasionally throughout each week. We have at least 2 EIF matches for you per week offered here on Twitch.tv. Aside from that, though, pay-per-views normally held on Saturdays, and again, there's just a rare exception as we get set loading into our first match of the evening.
I guess it's my job. Okay, now everybody get on your knees and pray to the 2K gods for the service.
And don't forget, we mentioned that our 2 Undisputed Championships are on the line. You see Intercontinental Champion Pepsi is in action in this match, but all 5 champions are getting action tonight. In fact, we also have coming up next Champion versus Champion match on Superstardom, though. Going to see the newest X Division champion, Wicked Jr., the man who won a championship for the first time in over 3+ years. He's going to go one-on-one with Prof Jag, the U.S. champ. He's holding the U.S. title once again. And Prof is honestly in the conversation for talks amongst what we've been mentioning with the Jetsstars and the Pepsi Killers and even beatdowns of the league, and in terms of a it's not if, it's a matter of when now. There was always the questions of, okay, will Prof Jag, can Prof Jag ascend to that main event level? I think it's now at that level where it's, or that time period where it's, okay, he's going to, it's just a matter of when. And I think Pepsi and Jetstar are in that category. Tyron Hunt has certainly been fighting his way in and out of the main event over just these last few months here. And even last year he had a brief stint in the main event, but this year he's getting a real ground level understanding for it. And he's being able to gel to it, and he's going to hope to stick with it tonight. But of course, these 3 guys have to beat both Hybrid and Greedy, 2 former EIF Undisputed World Champions, 2 former EIF Undisputed Superstardom Champions, and that's going to favor those 2 guys in this match more than the others. So we get set here, and we're going to have everybody back up into the bottom right corner. You can see where Seth Rollins is. Somebody will pin me. And again, guys, Adrian Neville, not a competitor in this match. You'll wait for my sound of the verbal bell, and at that point, we'll get the match started. But before then, we need 1 person in the center and 4 people in all corners. So we have Hybrid in the center, Tyron assuming the position at the top left. And ding, ding, ding. All right, we are underway. September to remember is now. Tyron Hunt kicking things off with a back body drop to Hypermaniac. That's a great way to start. And look, Tyron's next guy that he went for was Greedy. So Tyron early on trying to send a message by attacking the 2 guys that have the most main event experience of all 5 competitors. Tyron sticking to both those guys, and they're not taking a liking to it now. Crucifix from Greedy, he'll have to let go. Could have lost the match by that. Pepsi Killer now, the Intercontinental Champion, getting a grapple in on Hybrid. Meanwhile, here's Jetstar coming over. Jet, a former U.S. champion we mentioned. Pepsi has also held that. Tyron reversed by Greedy. Jawbreaker connects. Leg sweep. Tyron avoids that. He does not avoid a jab to the face. He looked like he was ducking under to avoid Greedy, but Greedy was stopped in the midst of his move as well due to Pepsi Killer. Now it's Jet and Hybrid. Suplex City from Hypermaniac. Hybrid again, another release German suplex to Pepsi Killer. Jetstar trying to stop him, cannot. And want to let everybody know, actually, that Hypermaniac is no longer Brock Lesnar. In fact, a couple of trades and transactions have been occurring this week. We experience a bit of lag here, unfortunately. Pepsi Killer just able to tee off at the back of Hybrid. But as we mentioned, as Jetstar seems to boil into the melting pot there, as we'll be seeing Pepsi Killer now represent Brock Lesnar after making a trade. But due to pay-per-view policy standards here in EIF, we make sure that characters are still or superstars represent the characters that they originally had within a week prior to the pay-per-view start, which, of course, under that policy after the trade was finalized last night, they will remain these characters for tonight. Pepsi Killer slammed down by Jetstar. Tyron Hunt still, you got to give credit to Tyron Hunt for attacking the 2 top guys. I mean, he is going into the lion's den here, folks. And now he gets Hybrid down. He scoop slams Greedy down as well. Tyron going to direct his attention elsewhere. He looks for Jetstar. Jetstar stops him. Here's Hybrid. Jetstar with a spine buster. Leading in momentum at this point is Tyron, followed by Intercontinental Champion. And last is actually Hybrid Maniac, the man who is replacing Aaron tonight. And again, unsure of the whereabouts of Aaron, guys. We really do apologize for that. Not sure what's going to be happening. Here's a German suplex to Tyron Hunt. Running Bulldog from Pepsi Killer. Pepsi misses that strike. That's going to give Greedy an opportunity. Wasn't able to capitalize on it. Jetstar running clothesline. Hybrid ducks underneath it. He saw it, read it, and a German suplex yet again for Hybrid. Jawbreaker from Greedy to Tyron. Pepsi looks to capitalize. He can't do so. Running DDT from Tyron Hunt, though, to Pepsi. And a running float over neckbreaker from Greedy to Tyron. Here on the middle rope, bottom right corner of your screen, Hybrid Maniac with a body splash to the ribs of Pepsi Killer. Now he heads up top. Oh, no. Axe handle misses. Tyron with reverse. Jawbreaker. Tyron has a signature. He's stopped, though, by the float over neckbreaker of Pepsi, who's earned his signature, as well as Greedy, who has one. Hybrid Maniac one move away, and he hasn't gotten it yet. Jetstar stops with a running knee from behind. Looks like Greedy's on pace to be the first person to have a finisher in this match as well. That could be false. Well, let's find out. Neckbreaker connects. No. Greedy with the finisher, and now the only person without a signature thus far or any kind of ability that can be used would be Jetstar as of right now, although comeback is obviously an option. Running knee to the back of Pepsi Killer. Tyron Hunt jabs Hybrid off the middle rope. Again, pinfall or submission, the only way you can eliminate your opponents in this matchup, guys. It's the last man standing wins. All 5 men, and of course they are forced to remain in the ring. And I say of course because if you're a wrestling game fan, then you know that's been the case. Wait a minute! Hybrid Maniac hit with the South Walker too! Hybrid is eliminated! Greedy said he had a plan. We spoke to him earlier today when he arrived at the EIF arena. He said, I've got a plan, I'm going to put it into motion. Hybrid may have been the wrench in his plans because of Aaron's absence, but still, Greedy prevents that, and then there were 4. Greedy now springboard dropkick misses. Tyron, Bulldog connects. A lot of people did feel, even with Aaron in here, that Greedy was probably the odds-on favorite. Tyron Hunt now with a finisher in hand, maybe thinking Hell's Gates. Well, he didn't at that point. Jetstar reversed the ground grapple, so it's probably better off that Tyron did. Pepsi with an elbow, and now wait a minute. I think everybody's beginning to notice, and if you guys take a look at the HUD bars here, Greedy is in an excellent stance for health, while the other 3 competitors are not, so they have got to be able to take advantage or do something here against Greedy while 3 people are still in this match. One taunt for Greedy. Pepsi with the drop kick. Pepsi looks for a DDT. Tyron Hunt reverses. Here's Jetstar. Jetstar waiting before Greedy can get up on his own 2 feet, looking for the powerbomb. Greedy stops him. Tyron, Russian leg sweep, slow motion for me, says 2K servers. Greedy with a neck breaker. And now Greedy feeling it once more. Taunt is in there for 2 total. Jetstar and Pepsi both trying to arise. Pepsi was the last one up, but Jetstar says all good in the hood. Scoop slam connects. Tyron's DDT does not. Here's Greedy. Tilt-a-whirl or side slam rather. First DDT takedown. Here's Pepsi Killer. Pepsi. Oh, that's a $1 million dream. Shout out to Ted DiBiase. Stomp onto the ribs of Greedy from Tyron. Now it's Tyron's turn. Tyron thinking Hell's Gate? No. Jetstar with a German suplex to Tyron. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Greedy and Pepsi Killer avoiding him. He knows Greedy is behind him with a finisher in hand. Greedy, finisher, Seth Walker to Pepsi Killer. 1, 2, and Pepsi has been eliminated. Jetstar looks to dive down, and now there were 3. Jetstar, Tyron Hunt, and the veteran and former Undisputed World Champion Greedy. From one knee, DDT to Tyron. Jetstar gets up. Jetstar botches on the grapples. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to get an opportunity to take Greedy down and add some damage. There it is. Greedy in red now. Fortunately for the two remaining aside from him. Ground grapple reversal. Jetstar body slam, and it's able to get him and Greedy down. Tyron Hunt botches on the grapple. Goes early finisher from Greedy. Seth Walker. And Greedy looking for his third elimination. He has it. Jetstar says finish it. Jetstar with a signature in hand. And now there are two. Jetstar and Greedy. Spine buster from Jet. Jet with his second taunt. What an opportunity this could be. We mentioned Jetstar's rival from the summer beatdown, who's involved in his first main event championship match tonight. Jets could be on the horizon. Clothesline misses. Stamina fails. Greedy's opportunity. He stopped. Jetstar has a lot more momentum than Greedy has. And now from the middle rope, here's Jet at 124. Body splash connects. Jetstar nearly 100 up on Greedy, third taunt. Forearm to the back is reversed. Greedy with a leg sweep. Stopped. Drop kick connects. And Greedy with his third taunt. From one knee, DDT connects. And Greedy now, going to yet again, I thought was heading to the middle rope. He looks like he's going to get a signature. He is. Greedy coming back in this match. Jetstar needs a response. Jetstar struggling to get a reversal in here. Wait a minute, there's one. Big one for Jet. He's one taunt away. I think he is. Does Jetstar's taunt have it? He does. Jetstar with a finisher in hand. Greedy has the signature though. Finisher! Jetstar with the finisher! Jetstar's got him up! The marching band begins! Jetstar, can he do it? Can he knock off the former world champion? Shell Shock connects! But Jet's tired. Jetstar is tired. He's exhausted. He's got to be able to get over there. Jetstar crawling. Shoulder down. He's got him. 1, 2. Jetstar's number one contender. Jetstar has an opportunity at a world championship match in 3.5 weeks. Greedy eliminated every single competitor other than Jetstar, and he didn't realize it, but as soon as he pinned Tyron Hunt to get that third elimination, Jetstar was in the process of completing a taunt that got him a finisher. Hell of an effort from Greedy, and you can't say that you'd be surprised from someone like Greedy to be able to put on that kind of performance as talented as he has been. He's in a breakout year, but so is the guy who's in his rookie year, and Jetstar will now have an opportunity at either the Undisputed Superstardom or Undisputed World Championship at Bonafide Fights. And we have a big announcement regarding that, guys. At the end of September to remember tonight, we are going to announce which championship Jetstar will challenge for at Bonafide Fights. Again, that's coming up at the end of tonight's pay-per-view, but a big congratulations, former two-time U.S. champion, or a multi-time U.S. champion, rather. Jet has an opportunity now. September 26th, 2015, he will enter in his first EIF World Championship match. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on September to Remember. Coming up next, it's champion versus champion, Pravjag and Wicked Jr. in Superstardom action right here at September to Remember. We'll be back. And we're back here live at September to Remember on the EIF Network. What an awesome first match we just had. Jetstar overcoming 4 other competitors. Although he only got 1 elimination, it was the most important one. And again, he will cement his opportunity at a World Championship later this month. For now, let's shift gears to the action in the ring tonight. We got a champion versus champion exclusive here. Superstardom Rules pits the U.S. champion Provjag against the X Division champion Wicked Jr. Going to be interesting to see how these two styles mix. It is CM Punk versus Sami Zayn, so the high-flying mix is definitely there. But Provjag and Jetstar, or Provjag and Wicked rather, so much talk about Jet, but Provjag and Wicked both involved in the X Division earlier this year, and now Provjag's been ascending out of the X Division. He's really went on to further himself this year, while Wicked is just now winning the X Division Championship, so a little behind in terms of times, but Wicked feels like he can still compete with Prov, and he can show him why, yeah, it did take me a while to win the X Division Championship, but I'm a lot better than what people are giving me credit for, and we're going to let those two have an opportunity to showcase their talents here tonight. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and this is a champion versus champion match. Introducing first on his way to the ring, representing CM Punk. He is the current reigning EIF X Division champion, Wicked Jr. And Wicked Jr., a big EIF fan favorite this year, and we talked about the Cinderella story he was having all through the spring into early summer. It ended up not working out for him when the clock ultimately struck 12, but Wicked Jr. has been rejuvenated over the couple months that he was sort of on and off here, and for the right reasons, as he is able to hold that right there, the EIF X Division Championship. And Wicked has, we talked with Wicked actually before the show, and, you look at the way the X Division's been this last month or two, really fell off from what was honestly one of the hottest commodities in EIF if you look through that first half of 2015, and Wicked's hoping that he can restore that prestige that made a lot of people want to go for that championship, including the man who won it earlier this year, of course, standing before us, introducing his opponent. From Buffalo, New York, he is the current reigning EIF United States champion, representing Sami Zayn. This is Provjag. Provjag set. Again, Provjag wants to show, hey, Wicked, happy for you, but not really. Provjag can talk some trash here and there, and Provjag, hey, he's happy to be a U.S. champion, but after seeing his good friend Jetstar that Prov would probably like to think he helped get into this league, after seeing Jag get an opportunity in a main event championship, you gotta wonder, is there a little bit of spite, a little bit of envy or jealousy on the end of Provjag, and that's gotta be used to his advantage, to his motivation to beat Wicked tonight, to continue rolling, although Wicked's been doing pretty good himself as of late, so we're going to see how this shapes out. And CM Punk, Sami Zayn, a pretty cool character matchup too. Probably a dream match in WWE modern today, but we're going to get to show you those kinds of dream matches here on EIF, in EIF, and at September to Remember tonight. And this is just a small sample of the kind of action we give you on a daily basis here at Extreme International Fighting. And if you have an Xbox One and you're watching right now, if you have not been a part of the EIF experience and you want to join in, all you need is a mic, 2K15, and the intent of getting WWE 2K16, and you too can be a part of the action that we see night in and night out in EIF, and of course right here on twitch.tv/EIF Network. Don't forget, we can also have you follow us on Twitter using @EIF Network. Make sure you're all part of the social experience as well, where we can provide you up-to-date breaking news alerts and more on Twitch. And Twitter, of course. We're just getting set for this. A one-on-one matchup is normal rules for those that are wondering. A champion versus champion, prestigious enough, so these guys will not be needing the use of weaponry for their match. We've seen a lot of EIF matches this year, though. Normally, you don't always need weapons to carry the flow of a match, and Wicked and ProfJag have had their fair share of very entertaining matches, including some here on the EIF network, and you can view some of our broadcasts in the past broadcast section. Make sure, though, in my personal opinion, I'd recommend that you guys wait until after the show. You don't want to miss a single moment of the live action that we bring to you here at September to Remember, of course. We are awaiting for ProfJag to join the game. Once he does, we'll be getting underway. This was and one of our past broadcasts, although it's not accessible now, going way back to the beginning of the network back in April. And April 25th, we actually had EIF Airbound featuring the X Division tournament. We talk about the X Division's popularity and whatnot. Well, Wicked and ProfJag were actually a part of that. They were against each other, pitted against each other in what was a very weird and chaotic semifinals for that X Division tournament. Wicked overcame ProfJag, so he beat ProfJag on ED rules, but now on Superstardom, Prof has an opportunity to settle the score. And based on the fact that his championship is a Superstardom brand exclusive, you would think Prof has home field advantage, but Wicked looks to take that away. The bar has flashed, and we'll hope to get you into the match and enjoying the match as soon as possible. Don't forget, guys, much like the last match, pinfall or submission, which both of these characters do possess, one of each. Of course, we can see Anaconda Vice, Koji Clutch, Blue Thunder Bomb, GTS, number of moves in each superstar's arsenal. And Sami Zayn and CM Punk do have quite the variety of moves as opposed to some of the more dull characters in the game. And speaking of characters, don't forget WWE 2K16 comes out in stores October 27th. EIF's last day on this game is October 17th. We'll be arriving on that game in the beginning of November. Ding, ding, ding. And we are underway. Match 2 of the night. Champion versus champion. Wicked and ProfJag. And Wicked will kick us off as Prof actually reverses that opening move. Russian leg sweep is in there for the United States champion, who's reversed based on a ground grapple. Enziguri misses. Kick from Wicked was low. Didn't get enough on it. And ProfJag was able to capitalize on his first attempt. It was unsuccessful, but that Enziguri comes back. And nice from Prof. Looking after the Irish whip to go off the middle rope. Fast-paced action is the kind of style you'll see, especially out of Sami Zayn on Punk, although Punk can deliver as well. Wicked with a pair of right hands to the head, right back kick, leaving Prof on the ropes, and drop kick. There goes ProfJag. Wicked Jr. with one taunt. Wait a minute, ProfJag getting up, and Wicked faked him out. Prof on the apron. Prof diving in the ring, no! Wicked Jr. was able to avoid him. Now Wicked backs up, Prof runs towards him, and he's going to hit him. Sitting out, scoop slam from ProfJag. Looked like he struggled to get all the weight up. There's that standing moonsault connects for the U.S. champion, one taunt as well. Wicked from one knee, now up. Prof turns him over, headlock locked in for the United States champion, and a back suplex. 26% each. ProfJag reversed, and Wicked will take lead. Stomp onto the upper chest there of ProfJag. He avoids the second attempt. Spinner on the back fist is reversed, as is the Anaconda Vice, or I'm sorry, Enziguri, not Anaconda Vice. Don't know what I was saying there. Getting a little ahead of myself. Who knows? Wicked, of course, could be looking for that Anaconda Vice at any given moment, though. ProfJag has Wicked up, drops him down with a suplex. He's starting to fall behind a little bit Prof sensing maybe some early urgency there, and of course, nothing to panic about yet, but you always want to stay close. If you can't get a far lead on your opponent, you want to be close in distance with them to make sure that you're not getting too outbeat, because once it gets to that landslide point, very hard to come back from. And an underhook suplex from Wicked Jr. Stomp onto the ribs, and you can see, although it is CM Punk and Sami Zayn, seems like CM Punk's that more ground and pound assault, or at least a slow-paced matchup, and that's what Wicked Jr. looks to prefer here. Neckbreaker is in there, so he's over-doubled Prof in the momentum. Prof Jag may be the higher champion up on the tier board in terms of prestige, but Wicked really bringing it to the U.S. champion and trying to make a bold statement here. Prof Jag, of course, has experienced a ton of success, though, with Sami Zayn this half since getting him in late May. Prof has been well over 500 with Sami Zayn. And another neck breaker in there. My goodness, Wicked Jr. just really taking it to Prof Jag. No response. He's already got a finisher. Now Wicked could be looking to put him away early. Look at this. It's a suffocating offense. That's one of the best kind of offense you can have in EIF. Just don't let your opponent breathe. But Prof Jag gives himself a little bit of oxygen with that running drop kick, and there he runs forward to Wicked with his first taunt of the match. From behind, reverse DDT, a modified Scorpion Death Drop, if you will. Wicked quick to get up. Prof Jag misses the initial grapple. Second one is reversed. And here comes Wicked Jr. with the right back kick. Prof Jag backed up into the corner. Spinorama back fist reversed. Running head scissor takedown connects for Prof Jag. Stamina becoming an issue. Now look at Wicked Jr. though. He's chock full of it. Here's Prof Jag. Backbreaker connects. He's at 81%. There's his second taunt. Prof going to slowly try and climb his way back up here for momentum purposes. Yet again, not going to let Wicked go. Wicked reverses. And Prof Jag, you saw, probably trying to attempt the same kind of offense that Wicked had been doing. Prof Jag sacrifices himself. A rivalry with Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville was just too much. One taunt, for actually two taunts for Wicked Jr. Oh, targeting WWE 2K15. Makes sense to me. Prof on the apron. Smart move not to do the diving move. Was probably alert of that catching finisher. And running while he caught into it anyway. Forget what I just said. Prof Jag, it's nap time. Go to sleep connects. Hooks the leg. Wicked Jr. 2 and 3. Wicked makes easy work out of the U.S. champion. Statement declared, statement made for the X Division champion. He keeps rolling.
Good match, Prof.
All right, and so we are yet again going to take another break here, guys. We're going to try and do them as less as we possibly can, but we will be back. More action coming your way here in September. To remember, again, Prof Jag unsuccessful in this champion versus champion match. The X Division overcomes. We'll be back here on September to All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back here on September. To remember, if you missed the first two matches, if you're just now tuning in, Jetstar defeating Greedy, Tyron, Pepsi, and Hybrid Maniac. Despite only getting an elimination on Greedy, it was the most important elimination of the match, and that was in order to become #1 contender for one of the two World Championships. That will be revealed later on tonight, and he'll go for one of those two at Bonafide Fights. And Wicked Jr., the X Division champion, overcoming with ease the U.S. champion Prof Jag. But coming up next, we've got a triple threat match for you, and it's not one of our two main events, guys. We're actually giving an impromptu bonus match for you viewers here tonight, featuring three superstars that have been on the rise here as of late in EIF, those being James R. Koffel, Killer Pack, and yes, even Neil, also known as Flair, King Los, whatever you want to call him. But this guy, and you guys unfortunately did not get to see this on the stream, but he, along with Killer Pack, put on a heck of a match the other night. And of course, that earned Flair his first, what a lot of people would refer to, legit victory here in his career at EIF, but he's going to get an opportunity to get another one. It would be his fourth overall and probably his second only legit one. He tested his luck with NBC Master the other night, didn't work out as well as he had hoped, but he's going to get a chance in triple threat action, and we just saw Wicked Jr. look very impressive. Well, any one of these three superstars could be looking to get a similar opportunity, and, oh, wait a minute. Okay, all right, I've just been told another announcement. Okay, we mentioned this earlier with Aaron. Well, we have more news. It's not regarding Aaron. It's regarding this match. The following contest is a triple threat match and is a #1 contenders match for the X Division Championship. Introducing first on his way to the ring, representing R-Truth, he is James R. Koffel. All right, another big announcement here for you viewers on Twitch, and what an opportunity for these three superstars. The winner of this match is going to get an opportunity to compete one-on-one with Wicked Jr. for the X Division Championship. Well, that's a good way to... Now, that's what we talk about for these impromptu matches. That's what you want to see. And, of course, this will be the debut, pay-per-view debut of this man. Been making noise around the league as of late. Young Buck coming in. Killer Pat getting another one. Another victory here tonight. I think he is stealing Ratlock's entrance, though. And now, introducing next on his way to the ring, representing from the Ascension, Victor. This is Killer Pat. Killer makes his pay-per-view debut in September 2. Remember, just 1 year ago, triple threat match took place featuring two people that made their pay-per-view debuts. Those were Prof Jag and Markster, and look where they came since then. Markster, a multi-time mid-card champion, although he hasn't been too relevant as of late. Prof Jag certainly has, despite losing the last match. He has an opportunity. I mean, this is what, if you're a new guy, you're somebody like Killer Pack, this is what you fight for, the opportunity to be watched here on the stream, here on the EIF Network. He's one of the guys that actually found us through the EIF Network, so he's got a hope for success. Introducing last from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, representing Corey Graves, this is Neil. Well, we mentioned that Killer Pack found EIF through Twitch. Oddly enough, we ended up meeting Neil years ago, despite the fact that he had a very, very brief stint in 2K14, and now here in 2K15 he's becoming a little bit more relevant, obviously getting his opportunity here on the pay-per-view. But, one of the interesting things about Neil, we met him on NHL, and ended up making very good friends there with him, along with EIF, COO Brutality and whatnot, but Flair has an opportunity, the man they call Flair, Neil, many different names, but all one common superstar, and he's got one common goal tonight, and that is to win this matchup. Speaking of NHL, I will give a shout out to EA Sports on this one. NHL 16 releases 2 weeks from today, September 15th, and you can probably guess it. Yes, we're not going to have a show that day, but either way, this man will probably be on that game, but for now, he's here tonight on this game. Mercifully so, 2K15. Buddy is here to try and get a win, and you heard it. Whoever wins this match, they're going to get to use their ED character and go up against Wicked Jr. in the next X Division title match. So opportunity for one of these three guys. Very big opportunity in their young careers. Now, disqualification will be on for this triple threat. These men are not allowed to use weapons, and again, pinfall submission. That would probably favor Neil or Flair in that process, considering his submission finisher. But of course, we do know R-Truth has a really quick finisher, and Killer Pac's been pinning actually a few people off of that clothesline from hell that Victor possesses. And as we get set to invite the competitors, we want to give a happy belated birthday. We're one day early on this to James Arkoffel, who's competing in this match here tonight. So people on the Twitch universe here watching, shout out to James for you. Or for you guys, a shout out to James. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. But I think he would, despite all the kind comments, probably just want a win and an opportunity at the X Division title a little bit more. He did have a chance at SummerSlam, came up short there, so he's got to hope that he can get one here tonight. And we actually want to let you guys know, okay, so this shouldn't be too big of an issue, but we are going to be waiting about an extra maybe minute, 2 minutes tops, guys, for Neil to be joining us here in this game. And just one of the issues that he had with his game. Technical issues do occur during broadcasts, as we do try to caution our viewers in advance that we can't always be protected from those. We're hoping that we'll get a little bit more server security in WWE 2K16, which a lot of things have actually been coming out about 2K16. I'll give you guys some more information for those that were not aware. 2K16 has confirmed 100 Create a Superstar slots available, so really cool compared and a huge upgrade, I think, from any game we've seen in the past. I think the maximum used to be, I want to say 50, but even if it was more this year, 25. So again, just a lot more flexibility there. And if entrances are still offline only, then it'll certainly be a big help for us. For those of you that don't know, we actually, with only 25 character slots, there's a lot of times where we end up having to delete characters and re-download them. And although it doesn't sound like a lot, it does begin to be a more tedious process as the more frequently it happens. All right, and so again, triple threats, which have been kind of the main theme to our main events here tonight, but they're going to get an opportunity for these three right now as we get set to ready up and have our guys go ahead and ready up. James Arkoffel has it. We are going to begin to load into this now #1 contenders match for the X Division Championship. So the winner here fights Wicked Jr. And again, that's going to be an Extreme Distortion rules. Don't forget, guys, our next stream for those that are watching is going to be sometime next week, most likely, although we do sometimes have random streams pop up. Our next show for those that are competing in EIF is coming your way Friday night, a little bit of a late night show, 9 to 11, so we hope you guys can tune in for that one. And I did see a couple of messages sent to me already from some people, so I want to let you guys know I haven't gotten an opportunity to view those messages while we're watching live, but I haven't recognized the gamer tags. So if you guys are new here looking to join and you're watching here on Twitch, make sure that you follow us here in the meantime on Twitch. Over 130 followers and well over 1,000 channel views, hoping to keep those numbers increasing as we continue here tonight with our third match of the evening featuring three superstars. Ready? Ding, ding, ding. James Arkoffel, Killer Pac, and Neil all kicking things off. Well, Killer Pac and Neil might have a bone to pick with each other. They put on one heck of a match. It was an underrated match just a few nights ago, and King Los, Flair, and Neil, all three of those names belong to one person. But, he got a big win, and he said that was the most nervous he had been in an EIF match, truthfully. So his opponents tonight, Killer Pack still there, as well as James Arkoffel, which Flair's been in the ring with a couple of times, not as familiar. Killer Pack actually owns a one-on-one victory over James, as James drops down Flair. Killer Pack waiting here, and in his pay-per-view debut, nerves can definitely settle in. A couple of years back, when because EIF, for those that don't know, has also been around for over 8.5 years, and a couple of years back, when you were competing on a pay-per-view, it was a big deal. The nerves definitely settled in, but now in this modern era of Extreme International Fighting with the EIF network and everything else implied, very difficult to not get stumped or choked up a little bit on some of the pressure that the nerves do bring to you. And realistically, it's a real deal when it comes to that stuff. As Killer Pack is thrown over the top rope, but remains on the apron. He's taken then off by James Arkoffel. A little bit of a dance for you. Club going up on a Tuesday, says James. As he takes down Flair, James in the lead momentum-wise. Killer Pack looking to follow up with a grapple. No, clothesline. Oh, James splits underneath him. And James drops down. Neil getting back up. Here's Killer Pack. Grapple, reversed by James, who's really beginning to pull ahead here. But he is reversed. Flair with a plate of chops, second plate. Shout out to Ric Flair. Grapple is in. Killer Pack's going to let him go with a back suplex. We mentioned plate of chops. You have to think hunger. Well, speaking of hunger, how about Tripod later on tonight, competing in that triple threat Undisputed Superstar Championship match. Guys, he's 0 for 18 in Undisputed Championship matchups. Last year in September, to remember, he was involved in a triple threat for the championship, and Tripod likes to blame ropes. He says that rope break was a big factor, and we don't have past footage to show you, but we can tell you that he was using Mark Henry, had his opponent in the bear hug, and wasn't able to capitalize in getting the opponent to submit. That was Rage Instinct at the time, and that was only because the ropes had caused a rope break. Rope break will be on in his match tonight as well, so we'll see if lightning strikes twice for the now Daniel Bryan representative 1 year later. Flair, a single leg breaker into Killer Pack. James Arkoffel now on the outside. Killer Pack tossed up and over, but he reverses and into a neck breaker. James now on the apron. Here's Killer Pack, stopped with a forearm from James. In the ring he goes. Grapple, reversed is Killer Pack. Russian leg sweep connects. He's got a signature. Killer Pack was able to take the momentum lead after falling behind earlier. Scooped and slammed down from Flair, who trails in third. Of course, the momentum means essentially nothing at this point. Ultimately, you just have to make your opponent tap or get the 1, 2, 3 on him, and you got a big opportunity if you're any of these guys. None of them have had a championship. James Arkoffel and King Los or Flair have been the only ones they've had championship matches. Still very far and few between for either of them. Killer Pack has not had a championship match yet in his very young EIF career. And he has a really big opportunity tonight, just about a half dozen matches in. And a lot of times you do not get those kinds of opportunities this early into your career. And it's an example of being at the right place and at the right time if you're Killer Pack. Flair with a drop kick to the leg. It stopped James Arkoffel, avoiding them. And you know what, Killer, I can tell you what we learned about this young individual. For those of you that haven't seen a lot of him, probably haven't seen any of him, considering that he is new here on the stream, as a float over DDT connects for Neil, and as well as a taunt, or does it? It does connect. But, we mentioned Killer Pack, and he was one of the first guys to ask about openings. Says, wait a minute, shout out to Propjack. Osaka Street Cutter connects. Signature for James. And James Arkoffel with a finisher now in possession. Oh no, Flair getting up. James Arkoffel looking to be number one contender. Oh, wait a minute, James woke up the wrong guy. Forearm to the back, Flair takes advantage. DDT is reversed. But we mentioned Killer Pack, and he was one of those guys. No, finisher reversed. But Killer Pack was one of those guys trying to get in as soon as he could, trying to get his opportunity. He was asking about those opening spots. Clothesline from hell. Finisher. James Arkoffel gets in the ring. He's taken down. Killer Pack throws him down. Killer Pack has got to get over there. If Flair moves, then he can get pinned. A ring escape from James. Very smart move from James. And he stops it with the axe handle, or the half axe handle, to take that over. But, you know, we mentioned that, like I said, this Killer Pack guy, very dedicated, always trying to find out now when the next show is. He was the first person to ask about openings tonight, and he was the first person to join the party as soon as he saw that invite. This guy is a go-getter, and that's what you want to see early into a career. And he nearly went and got himself an X Division opportunity for the first time, but it was stopped due to the ring escape of James R. Koffel, a trustful ability that R-Truth possesses. That's actually a very good question. So normally I wouldn't step out of character, but since Killer Pack is new to this, the only way you can win, not only is it by pinfall or submission off of finishers, but it has to be right there and then. If you were to hit a clothesline from hell and then 2 minutes later throw the other guy down and pin him, that does not count. If you were to hit the clothesline from hell on R-Truth and then 2 minutes later, R-Truth gets up again, you hit him with another running grapple and pin him, that does not count. You have to hit the clothesline from hell, then win. Now, you can hit the clothesline from hell on R-Truth and throw Corey Graves out the ring in order to win, or take Corey Graves down in order to win, but once they start to move after your finisher has been completed, once they get up and everything is good, then you can no longer pin them until you hit your next move, your next finisher. So I was just talking about that, trying to give him a tutorial. He almost did hit that next finisher. And Neil with a signature in hand, but his head just got hung up on the ropes. Head scissor takedown connects from James. And James feeling now, third taunt. 20-plus viewers watching in here on a weekday. We can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy weekdays. Of course, I know it is back to school for most, if not all, viewers here tonight, as is for me, unfortunately. But we can't thank you enough for tuning in on a weekday to enjoy what we hope you've enjoyed thus far. A very entertaining pay-per-view, and still both Undisputed Championship matches to come here tonight. So Flair has cleared house, all three men with some kind of utility signatures for Neil and James R. Koffel. Killer Pack with a finisher. Neil with a taunt. He can't win off of that, but he can get momentum. He did. And here he goes. Drop kick to the leg of Killer Pack. Neil gets hit, though, with a neck breaker. James R. Koffel stomp attempted, stopped. Osaka Street Cutter signature reversed. Flair with a big reversal there. Now here's Killer Pack. He's taken out with a back suplex. Flair down on one knee, though. Stamina not enough in the tank to be able to hit a finisher even if he wanted to, and he gets caught up with a suplex. James with his fourth taunt of the evening. Oh, and he almost got hit with a finisher from Killer Pack. You saw that, but James does have a signature in hand. Flair on all fours and now up. Clothesline, regular one connects. This could be the finishing one, though. Flair trying to avoid him. Spinning heel kick is avoided. And now Flair just going to do the smart thing. That's a veteran move from a guy who doesn't have the veteran experience of just getting the fake pin. You pick James up. At least it's a veteran move. If you're a 2K15 gamer, that's the kind of style that you end up being forced to use. Not in all past games was that a common technique. Flair now looking for the suplex. It stopped. James R. Koffel, bicycle kick reversed. Flair with a knee to the back. And here comes Killer Pack. Clothesline from hell. One. And it's stopped by James. A long one count there. Felt like the referee was almost going for a slow count intentionally, it felt. Here's James R. Koffel gets taken out with the clothesline. Killer Pack's second time he hit that finisher. There's his first taunt of the night. Has 4 more in his arsenal. Oh, second. He admits to the second one. Do appreciate the honesty. Of course, there are some things that the production truck can catch behind the scenes as well, but it's a lot easier when the superstar makes it that way for us. Like Breaker goes in there for Killer Pack. Here's Flair. Off the rope. He misses. DDT reverse from James. Killer Pack is stopped. James R. Koffel. Shout out to Prof Jag. Osaka Street Cutter connects. Flair botches. Jab. Another jab. James R. Koffel now taken out from Flair, also known as Neil. And he'll stand back. Drop kick connects to the leg. And Neil backing up and using a lot of his stamina up here, and it's really going to cost him. You have to think when it comes to the execution of trying to hit this finisher. Not to say Corey Graves is really an easy guy to win with in multi-mans. James Arkoffel picking up Killer Pac with a finisher in hand. Could be it. No, Killer Pac reverses. Throws him into the corner. Clothesline to take him down. Of course, that clothesline happens to be less powerful than his finishing one for some dumb reason. Now James Arkoffel hung up, and a snake eyes hits his head off that top turnbuckle. And now Killer Pac looks like he's going to ascend to that very same top turnbuckle. Once you go up, you have to go down. Killer Pac waiting for when the time is there to go down. He got a two birds, one stone method. Neil walked into it. And his second taunt, or third taunt is in there. No, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Even though the taunt did not finish, he got hit with the little Jimmy. Wait a minute. 1, 2. James Arkoffel wins. James Arkoffel caught him in an opportunity, hit the little Jimmy, and got the win. That was a smart move from James Arkoffel. Killer Pac, a rookie, and unfortunately rookie mistakes end up being the downfall of this match for him. You can see he was in the middle of a taunt. James Arkoffel was smart enough to capitalize, and you can see Flair was almost over there to break it up, but just a second too late. And so James Arkoffel is Wicked Jr.'s next challenger. He yet again has an X Division Championship match coming up. And of course, James is 1 day shy of his birthday, but he gets a birthday present a little early here from us at EIF, #1 contender for the X Division Championship. And a good match to these guys. And of course, hope you're enjoying here so far on the EIF Network. We have more to come, and actually coming up next live here on EIF Network, it is our doubleheader main event, starting off with the Undisputed World Championship. We hope you've enjoyed the 3 matches thus far, but things are about to get extreme. Coming up next, it's the Undisputed World Champion Brutality, the now 12-time Undisputed World Champion Brutality, defending his coveted title in a triple threat Extreme Rules against former champion Ratluck, and a man who's been promised since Ratluck won the title back at WrestleMania in March, and that is DZ. When we come back here on the network, we're going to take a deeper look in with a promo package to showcase how we got to where we are tonight. Coming up next, the Undisputed World Championship match, Brutality, Ratluck, DZ, here at September to Remember.